Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been seeing all your comments on TikTok asking me for reviews analysis for this one. So today, it's finally happening. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now let's not delay any further and jump right into the details. Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer, a long-time NETGEAR customer with over 2 decades of experience using their networking equipment, provides a detailed account of their experience with this mesh network system. Our reviewer initially reported overwhelmingly positive performance, noting near gigabit wireless speeds during backups to a network-attached storage (NAS) device, significantly exceeding the capabilities of their previous router. This client also achieved speeds matching their internet service providers (ISP) capacity during speed tests and experienced flawless streaming with services like Amazon Prime Video, a marked improvement over their previous setup. The guest network functionality was also lauded as straightforward and easy to implement. Despite this mostly positive experience, this client pointed out the setup process as incredibly cumbersome, rating it as the only significant drawback preventing a perfect 5-star rating. Our reviewer detailed a frustrating initial setup involving repeated failures using the app, necessitating a phone call to technical support, and a workaround involving browser configuration. This highlighted a significant weakness: the lack of sufficient printed documentation to guide users through troubleshooting common installation issues. The reviewer suggested that clearer, step-by-step instructions would significantly enhance the user experience. However, the positive aspects of the product's performance were somewhat overshadowed by a later experience with customer service. Several weeks after the initial warranty period expired, this client encountered a hardware failure, specifically with the Ethernet ports of the main unit. This client contacted customer service seeking a discounted refurbished replacement, given the relatively short time elapsed since the warranty expiry. Unfortunately, this client's request for a cost-effective solution was not met with a favorable response. Despite explaining the situation and their lengthy history of NETGEAR loyalty, our reviewer reports that the customer service representatives were unwilling to offer any alternatives beyond purchasing a brand new unit, leaving this client feeling disappointed with the lack of flexibility shown, and leaving this client to temporarily rely on a smartphone hotspot for internet access. This client ultimately concludes that while this product delivers exceptional performance once properly installed, the initial setup process and the less than satisfactory customer service encounter leave a mixed impression. This client strongly recommends improving setup documentation and exploring more customer-centric approaches to handling cases outside of the standard warranty period for a premium product such as this. The overall performance of the device itself is considered top tier, but these usability and customer support issues should be considered before purchasing.
Cool. Let's uncover what our next reviewer has to say.
This reviewer recounts a frustrating experience upgrading their home network with this mesh network system. Our reviewer, having enjoyed years of reliable service from an older system, anticipated a seamless transition to the newer Wi-Fi 6 technology, expecting improved connectivity and capacity. Initially, the setup of the main router component proceeded without incident. However, this client immediately encountered significant difficulties connecting the satellite unit. Despite multiple attempts and troubleshooting steps, including contacting customer support, the satellite stubbornly refused to connect. The first call to technical support ended with a recommendation to return the defective system to the retailer. This presented a new challenge, as the retailer only offered refunds, not exchanges. Fortunately, our reviewer received exceptional customer service from the retailer, eventually securing a replacement unit free of charge. The arrival of the replacement, however, offered little respite. While the main router worked perfectly, the satellite unit once again proved impossible to integrate into the network. This time, our reviewer's memory of the previous troubleshooting steps proved futile, leaving the new system unusable. In frustration, this client reverted to their older, perfectly functioning mesh system, highlighting the unexpected pitfalls of upgrading. The overall experience proved incredibly disappointing. This client was left with a fully functional but unused Wi-Fi 6 system, having endured significant time and effort on troubleshooting, multiple replacements, and customer service interactions. Adding further insult to injury, this client discovered that the supposedly discounted price obtained during a special sales event was significantly higher than the current retail price. This final blow underscores the entire unfortunate experience, leaving this client with a sense of disappointment and dissatisfaction with both the product and their purchase timing. The overall tale serves as a cautionary reminder of the potential frustrations associated with technological upgrades, even with established and reputable brands.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer's experience with this mesh network system was a mixed bag, ultimately highlighting both the strengths and significant weaknesses of the product. Our reviewer found that the device, an older model, shipped with outdated firmware version 4. While the system initially updated itself to version 4, it failed to automatically proceed to the latest version, version 7, a crucial detail absent from the product's instructions. This omission led to considerable frustration for this client, who spent many hours attempting to resolve the connectivity issues stemming from this outdated firmware. The problem was further compounded by misleading information. A banner within the web interface suggested a newer firmware version existed, but clicking it merely led to a page indicating the system was already up to date, a deceptive loop that only added to the overall negative experience. The inability to automatically update to the latest firmware version directly resulted in several persistent problems. This client experienced significant difficulties, including resolving SSID issues, problems that could only be rectified through extensive troubleshooting and multiple service calls. However, it is important to note that this client's interactions with customer service representatives were consistently positive. This client emphasized the helpfulness and friendliness of the support agents, especially those in the second-tier support who quickly identified the root cause of the problem, guided the client through a manual firmware update, and remained on the line for an extended period to ensure a successful resolution. This excellent customer service, this client said, significantly mitigated the frustrating ordeal. This experience highlighted a critical design flaw, a lack of clear instructions for updating firmware on an older model, especially when the automatic update function proves inadequate. The inherent conflict between the system's automatic update capability and the requirement for manual intervention to reach the latest firmware version creates a significant hurdle for the user. While this client ultimately praised the product's performance once the firmware was updated, stating they were extremely satisfied with the functionality after the arduous update process, the hours spent troubleshooting due to the outdated firmware and confusing instructions should not be overlooked. It is evident that this product, while capable of delivering strong performance, requires significant improvement in its initial setup and firmware management to avoid similar negative experiences for future customers. This client, who owned 2 other similar products before this one, strongly suggested that improved documentation and potentially a more robust automated update system would greatly enhance user experience and eliminate unnecessary stress during setup. That's all for today. If you like this, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments.